So good morning, Dublin. Thank you very much for having us, Bitvault, here. My name is Loïc. We are a Swiss company. We do security infrastructure for Bitcoin holders that want to hold Bitcoin for decades and not quarters. And in the next 15 minutes or so, I want to talk about a problem that almost nobody is solving, and the solution we have built to fix that, and that already today works on Bitcoin mainnet. So you'll be with me on Bitcoin is the most secure financial network ever built so far. But the way we hold Bitcoin today, so self-custody, is not yet built for the long term. And this is exactly what we want to fix. So imagine you hold Bitcoin for 10 years, well secured, never touched, buy and hodl, exactly as it should be, and that is precisely the problem. The longer Bitcoin sits still, the more vulnerable it becomes. Not to market volatility, of course, but to three structural problems that compound over time. First, attacks. Hacks, compromised devices, phishing, and increasingly physical coercion. Range attacks are now well documented across Europe. Ordinary multi-signature alone does not protect you when the attacker has time on its side. Second, key loss, a forgotten password, a damaged seed phrase, a house fire, you name it. Across decades, human error is not the exception, it is statistical certainty. Third, inheritance. What happens to your Bitcoin when you are no longer there? No will, no court, no notary can transfer private key. Existing solutions fall on at least one of these layers. So let me be specific about every existing approach and why they fall short. The first one, single signature wallets. You have one key, you have one point of failure. If you lose it, of course, you lose everything. If they steal it from you, they take everything, unfortunately, and decoy wallets do not help against a targeted attacker who know what you hold, how many Bitcoin you hold. Ordinary multi-signature is stronger, of course, against single point loss, but offers no time buffer. Once an attacker has the keys, the settlement is immediate. You don't have a window to react. Custodians, they are the counterparty risk by design, hacks, insolvencies, regulatory seizures, we have seen this play out again and again. Do-it-yourself setups are beautiful for the engineer that have built them. They fail when that engineer is no longer around through death, incapacity, or 20 years of memory drift. So we ask ourselves at Bitvault, what would Bitcoin custody look like if we built it to survive everything, including ourselves? And the answer comes down to one principle: code, not promises. Traditional custody asks you to trust the custodian. Bitvault asks you to trust the Bitcoin protocol. Traditional custody settles dispute through human discretion, for example, through legal procedures, through internal policies, through whoever happens to be on call on that day. And Bitvault settles execution through on-chain script. There's no discretion, no interpretation, it's clear. In a traditional setup, your provider can lock or freeze your funds. With Bitvault, the provider cannot trap your funds by design. The script will not let them. And in a traditional setup, recovery depends on your provider being alive. With Bitvault, recovery works even if we disappear. So Bitvault is not a single product. We have three independent modular products, each addressing a different and distinct threat. All three are open source, all three are non-custodial, and they all run on Bitcoin mainnet today. First, Bitvault is your protection against attacks. So it's a multi-signature combined with an adjustable time delay. Anyway from 2 hours to 15 days. This buys you time, and this fundamentally changes the economics of theft. BSSL, the Bitcoin Secure Signing Layer, is your protection against key loss. Multiple recovery passes are inscribed on the Bitcoin script in advance, so no single party can ever act alone. Next key is your protection against death and incapacity. And so it works like a dead man switch. So if activity stops, the funds are transferred to predefined heirs. There's no executor, no court. So let me take each of them in turn. You have to think of Bitvault as a vault with a time lock. A transaction is queued and it only executes once the delay expires. Until then, the user is in control. So there are 4 steps. Step 1 is initiate. The user builds a partially signed Bitcoin transaction that carries transaction level n-lock time. Just for the technical aspect, the delay is baked into the transaction itself. Step 2, validate. Our convenience service checks the time lock, meets the policy vault, and anything shorter will be rejected. Step 3, wait. The Bitcoin network itself will not confirm before the delay expires. So even if the PSBT, the partially signed Bitcoin transaction, is stolen, it is not immediately spendable. And throughout this window, the user can still cancel the transaction. Step 4, co-sign and broadcast. Once the window has elapsed and the spend remains legitimate, of course, the convenience service co-signs and broadcasts the transaction. The crucial property is dual protection. On-chain enforcement through n-lock time plus the off-chain policy enforcement. So you need both layers to have a clear settlement. This is fundamentally stronger than any other ordinary multi-signature coordinator. And I want to show you the policy that makes all of this trustless. The script enforces conditions through miniscript. In plain English, there are 2 paths to spend coins from Bitvault. The first one is the normal spending path, so the user signs with their key A or key B, which are typically held on hardware wallets or with trusted parties. The transaction carries n-lock time, and the convenience service validates the delay. But the network will refuse confirmation before the time lock expires. This is the really important part. The result is an attacker who coerces the user into signing still cannot sign immediately. And so this is a deterrent that works before the attack, not afterwards. Path 2 is the CSV fallback. So if Bitvault disappears, if we are compromised, if we go out of business, after 1 year CSV branch matures, the user can recover with key A and key B alone. He doesn't need Bitvault. This is the heart of our trustless guarantee. We can improve convenience for you, we can improve defense, but we cannot trap your funds. The script will not let us do it. Cryptographic guarantees are necessary, but they are not sufficient. Real-world security needs 3 additional layers. Layers that make Bitvault practical, not just secure. Idle security is, once initiated, the transaction sits in queue, not on the network. The user can abort at any moment within the delay window. Secret notification, I think you'll like this one. This is the layer that addresses kidnapping and prolonged coercion. The moment a spend is initiated, an encrypted alert goes to the trusted contact designated in advance, your wife or your business partner. The attacker has no way to know that notification was sent. So the trusted contact can take action, call authorities, the police, intervene, or just simply confirm. And the last one, self-hostable. The convenience service is fully open source. You can self-host it via Umbrella app or use Bitvault's managed service, but either way, there's no custody, no counterparty risk. This brings me to our second product, BSSL, the Bitcoin Secure Signing Layer. Bitvault protects you against an attack happening today. BSSL protects you against something much more insidious, the slow, inevitable erosion of access over time. So it works like this. When you create a vault, multiple recovery paths are committed to the script. Each pass defines exactly which signer can spend and under which conditions. These paths are inscribed on Bitcoin itself, so this is deterministic, verifiable, and known in advance. If a primary key is lost, for example, a damaged seed phrase, a forgotten passphrase, a destroyed device, you name it, the user activates an alternative pass. They do not need to expose other keys. They do not need to trust any third party, and critically, the recovery structure remains private. The outside world never learns how your vault is configured. The guarantees are simple. No single party can ever spend alone, even with a key copy. Recovery paths are verifiable on-chain, and the whole thing works even if Bitvault itself is offline and compromised. Next key addresses the threat nobody likes to think about, but everybody eventually faces. So what happens to your Bitcoin when you are no longer there? Today, the honest answer is it depends really on luck. Whether your heirs know your setup, whether your seed phrase survives, whether any executor, any court, any notary can untangle what you left behind. So none of that is acceptable for a multi-generational asset. Next key works in 3 phases. First, at setup, you designate your heirs and set a heartbeat interval, 6 months or... The inheritance rules are inscribed on-chain at vault creation. During lifetime, you sign a periodic heartbeat, so that's a simple proof of life. And while you are signing, nothing can change. You retain full control. And at transfer, if the heartbeat lapses, the funds become spendable by the designated heirs only. So inheritance becomes a property of the script, not a legal procedure. Sorry for that. So, a quick word on engineering, because a custody product is only as trustworthy as the code that runs it. Bitvault is written in Rust. This is a deliberate choice. Memory safety is enforced at compile time. So there's null pointers, no use after free, no buffer overflow. So this entire classes of wallet exploits are eliminated by the language itself. And on the hardware side, we communicate through air-gapped QR codes with Blockstream J, J+, and Keystone Bitcoin-only firmware. We have more integrations on the roadmap. So where does Bitvault sit relative to what exists today? Single signatures, wallets give you an average security, poor control, poor recovery, and no time lay at all. Ordinary multi-signature is better, but still lacks the 2 properties that matter most for the long-term time as a security layer and the trustless fallback. So we are not replacing multi-signature, we are just completing it. So since we began less than a year ago, we've had steady growth, but most importantly, the community has weighed in. I'll give you 2 examples. Eric Lombroso is a former Bitcoin core developer, and he has recognized Bitvault's approach as a binding solution for Bitcoin sovereignty and security. And the very famous Giacomo Zucco has confirmed Bitvault as the most compelling custody innovation in the ecosystem. So where do we go from here? In a couple of weeks, at the end of Q2, we'll ship the public beta of Bitvault on iOS with Jade and Keystone integration. In Q3, we BSSL goes into production, and in Q4, next key opens its inheritance pilot. On the business side, we have 3 tiers. Personal is free, but you only get the raw code on GitHub on the Apache 2.0 license. This is mainly for developers. We have Pro, which is on pre-sale today. You have 40% off the regular price. You get an iPhone app, advanced time delay, options, multiple vaults, hardware wallet integration. This is really for the Bitcoiner holder who wants real protection without running their own infrastructure. Then we have Enterprise, which is custom. You have HSM's API access, white labeling, compliance reporting. This is really for institutions and partners who want to integrate BitVault into their own platforms. So Bitcoin is built to outlast decades, attack, key loss, and these are the 3 real enemies of long-term positions. BitVault gives you an answer to all 3 of them, but grounded in Bitcoin consensus. So it's not in trust, not in human discretion, and there's no exceptions. So visit our website. You can visit our blog. There's lots of good content. I know blogs are not very popular, but it's really worth it. And you can follow us on social media, on Noster, on X, on LinkedIn. That really helps us. And you can find me after the talk, whether you are a Bitcoin holder, a developer, a wallet builder, or a potential partner. So thank you so much.